Hello YouTube, and welcome back to another wonderful episode of TimberPunk 2. I don't know if that's how they say that in the game, but I just feel like that's the best way to go about doing this. Anyway, last time on TimberPunk, we ran out of berries. We're kind of in a bad spot. Our beaver population is about to experience a massive drop-off in, well, beavers, because reasons. And that's not a good thing. But we're moving in a positive direction right now. We've got berries growing. I hopefully recognize that as a potential problem early enough that we were able to hopefully catch that and mitigate it. We are moving forward with our aquifer drills into here, and I want to go ahead and start working towards getting an aquifer drill into there as well, and is on top of building another geothermal power plant on top of this and feeding our juice into there. I think that's going to be the best use of that geothermal source. Geothermal source. Give me words. Geothermal field. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. So we're going to get to that hopefully today. Get this all in. That means that we can probably get back into here, dam this off so that our water doesn't run out and away from us. And yeah, that will be grand. That will provide us with a large swath of real estate to continue planting. We do need to get into proper lumber production because while we have a lot of it around, it's not it doesn't last forever. We need to actually replenish said stocks somehow. And we're going to have to hopefully get some more beavers in the house soon. Okay, we look at this. We've got about 7 days for those to pop. Another 6 to 9 days. Yeah, we're looking at 6 to 9 days before our first berries pop. And we're about to run into our beavers slowly expiring due to old age. We've got 33 there, 31. So they're all relatively young, except for, okay, a few of them are relatively young. We've got a 5-year-old floating around in there. So we will probably end up with 6 beavers floating around. And that will have to be it. I did just now realize that we don't have anybody to collect those berries for us. And I'm thinking what we need to do today, actually run power appropriately. And I know I was complaining about that last go around. It was just because I was trying to save up science and science required materials so that we could do stuff like the Aquifer Drill, but I feel like we're in a good enough spot that we can start spending science a bit more liberally, if you will, and start working on tearing out some of these additional things like this large power wheel, which isn't going to be beneficial for us in the future because we'll have this Aquifer Drill being powered by our geothermal engines, plural. So that would be a good thing. We won't be reliant on the ancient aquifer drill, which will be good. And that'll give us a few beavers back, which is fantastic. Now, we're still doing pretty solid on water. I'm very happy with that problem being solved, so that is good for us. We can probably go ahead. I'm going to pause these two, and we're going to go ahead and rip this out because that is not what I want to see. I think we're good enough on water here. And we can get this. Well, no, we don't have all of the planks available to us. How are we doing plank-wise? Were there... No, there were no plank storages floating around for us. There's some back here. That's 17. There's some dirt. Don't care about that. There's scrap metal back in there. Alright, so that... finding the random reserve piles floating around isn't going to provide us with much in the grand scheme of things. So we're going to go ahead and rage with what we have available to us. We're going to have to produce the planks by hand to meet the demand for our aquifer drills. We do want to get that up. So we might not be able to burn as many planks as I would like to in running the power down through here. However, We should have enough material floating around for us to start working on putting this in, which means doing something like this. And I want to run this all the way back here, and we'll probably have to go up right here. We're going to burn the 40 science to get up here and run this way. We could get somebody back into this lumberjack flag and have them come in and rip out some more of these trees for us, which would be good, but I want the science moving, which is where those 2 additional beaver slots are currently occupied in, as well as our gear manufacturing, which is good. I did forget to get these gears. That's why, one of the reasons why we're over here in the first place. That's okay. That is fine. I am going to pause these 2 just because I don't think that's necessary anymore. We're going to unpause you, and we're going to get in a few pine trees in here. Just so we have something that is replenishable, or is going to replenish our stocks. That'll be good. Sooner rather than later, we'd also like to get in here and unlock the irrigation barrier so we can save ourselves from this Badwater river. And hopefully in the future we'll be able to actually divert all of this out of the way, and that'll be good for us. But that'll be a little while. That'll be a little while before we're able to actually accomplish that. I really can't believe that I didn't get those. I can't believe I didn't get those gears. That's one of the reasons why we went up here, is to get those gears. 25 gears required. Yeah, we're going to have to burn 100 science to get across here. I cannot believe I did that. I can believe I did that. I do the dumb things sometimes, okay? We all understand this as the reality of me doing the dumb, okay? We all know that I do the dumb thing. Okay, let's see here. Let's see about putting in another compact water wheel right here. And we can put in a platform right there. And then we can run power down here like that. And that means that that could go in right there. No, we don't even need a platform. What am I doing? What am I doing? Power. Vertical power shaft goes right here. You go right there, there. Done. All right. Gears. Give this a priority bump so we can get across the way and get those out of the way, which is going to be good. We want to gain access to that by getting in a set of stairs here, and we can probably just sneak around and tear out this one tree. That should get us where we need to be. That'll be grand. That'll be huge. That'll be fire, as they say. And let's see here. We should have access to these these logs soon. That'll be another 67 logs, which will be huge in the grand scheme of things. I hope, I think. How are we doing on the berries? We're still 5 days out from that one. 3 days out from those, so that'll be good. We do need to give this a max priority so that gets built. Otherwise, we won't be able to actually take advantage of those berries when they do pop. And we'll get somebody in there as soon as beaverly possible. This is all well and irrigated. I kind of want to put a dam back in here just so that when we're running these deep water pumps, we're not pulling from this secondary level over here. I want to keep this elevation of water available as long as possible, because the higher the deeper the water, the less, or the better irrigation we have. That's the word I'm looking for. The more, the larger of an area of irrigation we have available to us, which would be quite nice. You know, we like to have that. We do have this complete, though. Game, you need to stop fighting me. That would be appreciated. I kind of want to get that to max priority so that we can get that up and running. Our power demand is pretty okay right now. And I feel as though we need some more beavers in the building huts. So let's go ahead and plus this up. We're going to lose out on our science production for a minute. But there are a lot of builds that need to be accomplished. And if we have 2 people doing it, then theoretically they should be able to get some more stuff accomplished that we need accomplished, like getting in all of these power shafts that we want built and getting in all of the other things that we need built. We are slowly producing gears, though, so that is a good thing. That'll be helpful in running our power up and around town. And then we also would like to probably... We don't want to pause that. We don't want to pause that because we need both of those things. Do we have anybody else that we could pause? Anywhere else? Healer. Maybe... Nope, that guy's not open. How much do you reach? You reach enough of that we could steal you out of there. I don't really like doing that. I like to swap between these two, having one as the harvester and the other guy as our planter. But we are bingo beavers. We are going to unpause this in preparation for the future, and we are also going to go ahead and put in a secondary breeding pod, also in preparation for the future. Giving that a priority bump right there is going to be beneficial in that regard, and we are inside of a day for our berries to pop, which is good. It looks like we're not going to see as massive of a drop-off as I had originally anticipated. We are going to see a few days where we're going to probably dip to about 8 or maybe even 6 to 9 beavers, because it will take approximately 3 or 4 days for those to pop off for us. Just not the greatest. However, there's not much else we can do about that. We are running power quite nicely through here. Why haven't we built some of these things? I don't know. Power is all the way over here now, so that is good. That is just waiting on planks. That is... We are going to unpause you, tell you to focus on that one... these 3 trees right there. That'll get those out of the way, and we'll be able to continue to build on that back end. I want to give these guys a priority on this one here, just because. And we have berries. Let's go. We have berries. That means our population is saved. We have a beaver with nothing to do within range yet again, so you are paused. I did not realize that you were over there still. That's on me. Cool. We're going to go ahead and also put in our next aquifer right here. Aquifer drill goes there. We're going to grab this path, and we're going to run this path back here. We are going to dam this up back here, because I want this water. Wait, was that a levee? That was a levee. Dam. I'm kind of torn on the new look for the dams. Let me guys know what you guys think. You guys like these now? You like the new ones? You like the old ones? Let me know. I'm curious. 100% curious as to what the going consensus is on the new and quote unquote improved Oh, no, 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 no. Okay, that stinks. We're going to have to be reliant on this yet again, so that means we're going to have to put a beaver in there. Get this up and running. This did stay irrigated a little bit, but that does actually lend credence to my previous statement of getting that in there right there. So we'll do that again. I do need to get this unpaused. We need to give that a priority so we can get that moving again. So we can save all of our goods from expiring. which would be good. That'd be really, really good. We are over here. They are building these stairs, so that is good. We have power moving. We have power moving. So that is fantastic, actually. So that means that we can run this all the way across here and give this its appropriate level of priority. And that also means that we could probably pause the gear workshop for a minute and get a few more beavers back into positions where they are needed. And that will be huge. This did save us again. Our berries are still popping off on us. We have storage for berries somewhere. One of these reserve piles was storage. Okay, so we have 200 storage available for us for berries. That is fantastic. That's glorious. That is amazing. I love to see it. Not loving the fact that we are kind of letting a lot of this kohlrabi go unharvested? That's the word I'm looking for. Not harvested, which is not good. I think we can pause you now and get you back in over here. We're going to hit this harvest button on you and let you run as the planter, and that should meet the intent there. Now, I'm realizing that they just started putting material into here, which is fine. We needed gears in there anyway, and we had the metal blocks available to us. I do want this to take the priority because this is where all of our stuff is, and that means that we'll drop this probably to the lowest priority for now. Get that in a good spot for us. We are producing beavers again, so that is good. Both of these have a decent progress right now, which is really good, which makes me happy. We have a high score of 8 on the happiness. We have 4 flooded buildings. Yep, those are upstairs. Those are the ones that we built, and that's another one that's upstairs that we did not play with, did not plant. That's fine. Let's see, what else do we have? Construction or building lacks workers, and this farmhouse is empty. So we did just lose a beaver, putting us down to 9. Okay, I think we can pull this down. We need to get water moving too, which is not good. We don't need you in there right now, so you can go and be a farmer. We need our food done doing food things for us. Okay, water's pumping. Probably need a little bit more water pumpage going, but we don't really have anyone. Could probably pause you until we get a good stockpile of cassava up and running. Right now, we're not really doing that well, but we have kohlrabi out the wazoo, which should provide us with more than enough foodstuffs for the foreseeable future. Hopefully. And hopefully the one guy in here will be enough to keep the water levels at a decent enough height. We'll probably get somebody in here, max this out when it gets towards the near end of the cycle, the temperate cycle, just due to the fact that we need this to be maxed out. The droughts are going to get longer and longer, and that is not good for us, and we need to keep that in the back of our nugget. Okay, cool. Next up, we need to get in here and start demolishing these bad Johnnies. Just making sure that doing so isn't going to put us in a bad spot. It shouldn't. That'll be good. Okay, planks are moving still. We need 12 more planks. We don't really have any beavers to put into help expedite this. If we had more beavers, we could get that running a little bit faster. Pull this down to 2, or we could just stop building for a minute. Yeah, let's stop building for a minute. Plus this up. See where our buildings like workers are coming from. It's just from the 2 science huts. We're going to pause those. We have an injury. That's not good. Injury probably from industrial lumber mill. Yep. That's going to stink. That actually stinks a lot. All right. We'll let planks store up for us for a little bit. We can't really... what do we need well-being wise? Medical bed is 80. We have the first opportunity that it could have been a bad tide, and we have a bad tide. Okay. So that kind of stinks. We have a couple planks floating around, so that'll be good. We can unpause you. Get a beaver in there. Pull that down. We're down to 8 adults, and we have 2 kits floating around now, so that is good for us. We didn't pump out nearly as much water as I would like to have, but we are pumping it out. We're back up to 300, so that is pretty good. We do have somebody back in here in the district center, so that is good. That means that our medical bed has been built. That should alleviate our guy that was injured. And we do have 9 planks available to us now. That means this Aquifer Drill will be able to be finished. Yes, that will be able to be finished. Good. So that is fantastic. We also need to plus this up priority-wise on the build, but we also want to max this out priority-wise on that end there as well. Now, I'm very, very concerned that I have not found any additional Badwater seeps. Or not seeps, Badwater pipes floating around. I know I saw a couple. We saw a couple. They were down in one, I think it was one of the valleys back in here. Yes, this valley. There was one... along here somewhere. I was staring at it. It was like, that's menacingly staring at me. Okay, that's fine. We'll deal with that when we need to deal with that. Where is this going? It goes out. We'll have perpetual power moving for us, so that'll be good. Why are we building this? That's the real question here. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. All these popped up, so that's cool. You don't need to be there right now since there are no more berries for you to pull up. Probably get you into here to keep or help push water for the last 24 hours. Actually, let's max this out. Probably don't need 3 in there, but we'll get somebody in there. Help push this for the last half a day. We could fill this up as much as possible. Wish there were a way for us to tell this to turn on or off depending on how much water is in the general area. Because if 1.6 units of water isn't much, but if we could get this all the way up to 2.0, maybe we... Okay. All right. All right. I think we're fine. 99% sure we're fine. That's one of the bad water drains right there. So that is pumping out bad water now. Yes. All right. And then all of the bad water seeps and all of the bad water sources are going to continue to pump everything out. And then I bet you, well, I don't know why I'm betting you, that the one seep that we found underwater back in here somewhere has changed to poo water. Yeah, this guy. There we go. Yeah, our water seep there is turned to poo water. This bad water drain is, of course, a problem there. That's fine. We do want to get over here at some point, too. Because that's where... Okay. Well, that's not great. Okay, you guys don't need to be there right now. Go do something else with your hands. We don't need to be pumping all this water out right now. Because we've got plenty of it running. We have 7 days, or a 7-day ad tide running. We do need to get this ripped out. We need to get that ripped out, and then we need to get this connected. That means that you go right there. Not there. Here, please. Thank you. That'll be grand. That's good. You are waiting on 36 planks, which we have 30 planks. We have metal blocks. We have 1 metal block required there, and then 10 more gears, which means we need to get our gear workshop back up and running. We need to get cassavas moving again because we have a decent stockpile of those running around, so that'll be beneficial for us. And then, additionally, we can go ahead and rip this out. Yes. You can rip that out. And rip this out, rip that out, rip that out, and rip that out. We get all of that material back to us. That'll be very nice. We can plus that up right there. That'll be good. And we could probably unpause our science again for us. Beaver population is back up above 10, so that is very good. And now we need to start thinking about other things like additional storage. So we can wait a little bit to unlock the medium tank to give us a little bit more water storage, which would be a huge boon in the grand scheme of things. We do have some water back in there. That's going to take a little bit to get to, however, because that requires us to unlock some other things. We do have a beaver available to us, so you can get back in there and you can start chopping down all this stuff back here. Probably can't reach anything on this back end. Don't really need this connected right now, but I want to keep it connected. We could get over. I don't know if that's really worth the... Okay, we have gears. Did I not tell them to store gears anywhere? I thought we told them to store gears somewhere. Let's see here. You go like that. You are now gears. You are now good for us. And we can get a few more gears right here as well. 18 gears. That will put us in a good spot to finalize the rest of this aquifer drill. This has 0.1 day remaining. Let's see what that does. Did it actually destroy? It did. It actually destroyed the aquifer. It's a good thing we got it here and we built this aquifer. All right. Well, now we know you can use explosives to destroy an aquifer. And we will keep that in mind for the foreseeable future. But we're doing good power-wise. We're doing good food-wise. We're doing good berry-wise. We're not doing the best water-wise. But wait. Oh, there's a disintegration mechanic now. I completely forgot about that. Guys, come get these materials. We don't want our materials to disintegrate. Please and thank you. I completely neglected to keep that in mind. I forgot all about that. Oh, disintegration mechanic. Okay, all right. That is something to keep in mind. Materials will disintegrate over time. We have a few berries that did pop. We can get somebody in there to go pull those out. These have another 12 days, or no, another 2 days before those pop. Can't do anything right with that right now, however, because reasons. Well, we ran out of water storage in here, and you have nothing to do with the range anymore. I'm okay with you being paused. We can come over here, finish the connection to that bad Johnny right there, and now we can go ahead and put in our other geothermal engine right there. We'll just run power straight out the back end and get this connected over here and run this down right there. Connect that bad Johnny to it, that bad Johnny. That will be how we run this all for us. We do need pull that down so we can get a few more people in there. We only have a few days left before these logs start to disintegrate. I'm not too concerned about losing a few logs, honestly. But they're nice to have, right? It's a limited resource right now, especially because we keep running into this issue. Once we have a bit more of a solid lay of the land and a bit more solid water production, I wouldn't be too concerned with continuing to pump the water out or even unlocking our fluid dump. But for now, this is what we have available to us, which is what we're gonna have to accept as what it is. It is what it is what the Utes say these days. I think that's what they say. Correct me if I'm wrong. But this needs to get smashed in, and then we also need to get this demolished and this. Well, yeah, let's go ahead and max these out priority-wise. Get them in there to finish that. We have a spare beaver floating around, so we can get somebody else assisting with the building. Our beaver population, and it just dropped. I was about to say our beaver population is looking a little bit stronger now, but alas, it is not. We are connected now, though. As soon as these last two pieces of blockage are removed, we will be able to keep this filled up without having to deal with any of our beavers working and toiling away on the large power wheel. Do I just accept that those are going to be lost? I feel like that's going to be what's going to happen. I'm realizing that there's a lot of planks that were used for these stairs that were highly unnecessary. We have no good selected. Yep, still done. And that's also not connected. I want to just destroy that, but I also want this to be collected. Come get these logs, guys. Get the logs because we're running out. That means that we need to get somebody in here to start ripping out some more of these. That's the end of our drought or our bad tide. So that is good. This is pumping at full capacity now. So that means that this should fill up a little bit faster than it had in the past. That is good for us. And we also need to probably pause our gear production. We don't want to pause our plank production. We don't want to pause our food production. But we do need to get water up and running. That is a requirement. Okay, where do we have a gather flag? We can pause that for now. That's fine. The only thing missing bodies right now are the inventor sets. It's fine. We need storage, additional storage for all of our foodstuffs, which will be good to start getting up and running. I do want to get that in. Not entirely sure why. Well, I know why, because we only had one builder there for a minute. And we're still losing beavers to old age. We are coming back from the slump, though, so that is good. Okay, I forgot that I had them working for 24 hours for that entire drought or bad tide. That's on me. I did that. That's entirely on me. Okay, that's fine. This is fine. We do have a renewable source of lumber, though, so we can get this marked for cutting. And we don't really have anybody to put into that position. This is pumping out all of the water for us, but it's not really filling up nearly as quickly as I would like it to. However, it's only been one day. Yeah, that's fair. That's fine. Okay, I accept that fact. We are a few logs away from getting that finalized, though, so that's kind of stinky. So we do need to get logs moving. Means that we need to get planks paused so we can get logs moving. We can get somebody in there to rip down some of these trees so that we can build all of these things. That'll be great. That is waiting on 20 more planks, which I'm just now realizing I don't have. So that's cool. We also want to get somebody in here to backfill all of those things for us. And we also want to start continuing pulling in these berries. We're juggling beaver bodies. It's great. You love to see it. You love to see the juggle. The juggle is real. The juggle is fantastic. But we're doing great things. We are coming up on a drought, though, which really stinks. We just lost another beaver, which also really stinks. We'll get 2 beavers back once we get the... We're no longer building. We're no longer building. Not good. We need logs. We need logs to build. We need logs to build, so that's fine. We'll wait until one of these kits grow up. They're both about to grow up, so that is good. So we can actually unpause that, get them back in there, continue to build all of these things for us. We can get this. Don't think that's going to get finalized in time. Yeah, it's not going to get finalized in time, but that's fine. We'll have it prepped for the next go around. We did get this dam put in, so that will provide us with a nice large area of water storage. So that'll be good, and we can start getting a few more water pumps over here. This is where we could start maybe pulling a fair bit of our juices from. Just because we can, that'll save us a little bit of our juice over here, and fill this in and keep it filled a bit longer during these droughts and bad tides. I'm also remembering that I wanted to get in more storage, but we're kind of hurting as far as lumber is concerned of my own decision making. However, we don't complain about that. We just fix it. We just fix it. It needs 5 more planks, and then it'll be good and done. We have a day left in this temperate cycle, which is grand. Waiting on the last few planks to get up and running. That'll be good. That'll be good. We can put some stairs in here, and we could probably get up top. That'll provide us a little bit more of real estate to get into. We are storing gears back here, so that's cool. Don't really need that much gear storage back there. I want to find another one of those reserve tanks. There's one. Knew that was in there. You get back there. We almost have the science. Oh, they finished this. Nice. We almost have the science to do that. Unlock our metal scavenging flags. We're kind of hurting on the beaver population still, but we are slowly clawing our way out of that monstrosity of a problem that we created for ourselves. That's a good thing. It's a glorious thing, and it's a 12-day drought, or an 11-day drought. You want to pause the water. We have approximately 50 units of water being burned each day. That's 500 units of water going to be required to meet our beaver population needs, which means we need to pause. No, let's get more storage. I feel like that'll be a good use of our time, and then we can start pumping this out. I don't want to pump it out too fast because I want to keep our water, or our plants irrigated, our food irrigated. I also need to tell them to keep planting more kohlrabi back in here. A little bit more real estate for them to do so. This is going to, we're going to lose this backside, which is kind of stinky, but that's fine. When we unlock our fluid dump, we can actually start dumping water into here and even into here, and we can start working our way towards making all of this area a nice... What is going to happen here? Oh, that's not good. No, that already dumps down there. That's fine. Okay. I was almost concerned there for a second. That's fine. I'm not concerned with that one. That one's been there the whole time. Nothing to be concerned with there, okay, guys? Nothing to scare yourselves about of anything like that, okay? Everything's fine. Everything is cool. Chillax. I do want to find more sources of power. We could unlock steam engines, but that requires metal blocks, which we don't have any more of. Or we have some, just not many of them. We have 17 of them. Metal, that's 250, 300, so 550 science required to dip into metal. That's 200 science right there. We could do that. We could dip into metal blocks. Give me my path, please. And we have the planks to get down and just do something along those lines. Got a few planks on that side right there, and then we can go ahead and mark these resources for demolition. And click this button right there. Connect that path up. How are we doing on this? Our Aquifer Drill is in, so that is good. I do need to mark all of these to be water storage. That would be grand. This will turn on and fill this entire area up, which will be really nice. So we'll have a nice plot of land irrigated on this side, which will be huge, which means we can, like I said, shift our focus from having these deep water pumps over here to over here, which means we can keep more of this irrigated for foodstuffs and the like. Now, I think we could probably get in another farmhouse on this end. I'm just trying to recall where the line was for the bad irrigation. It was basically like this, right? So maybe this isn't worth the squeeze until we can either place down irrigation barriers, which is quite a ways off because that requires our sparkly planks, which requires 800 science, which we're not quite there yet. So, yeah, we'll probably unlock that when we probably have the number cruncher or something running in the background, and we're not too concerned about burning all of those materials. That was a very weird path that dude just took. That's fine. Not going to complain about that. There is a set of thorns in front of these dirt piles, which kind of stinks. There's also a set of ruins in front of that. Also kind of stinks. Can I change these? I can change these. That's cool. Can I change you? I can change. Yeah, that is really cool. Okay, can we reach that? That's the real question. It appears that we can. I'll give them a little bit of a little nudge in that direction. So they could probably try to work their way towards that. And additionally, we want to get a few, or a beaver or two in here to clear out some more of these trees for us. These are in the way for future me projects. We need all of the real estate for us to do all of the things. Science is moving positively again, though, so that is fantastic. We did get over here, so that gave us another 200 science, which puts us in a good spot to come in here and unlock the scavenger flag. And that means that we take that out, flip this around, hit that button right there. Tell them to... Too far from district to reach. What do you mean too far from district to reach? Far from district to reach. There's... Did I... No. Probably can't reach this either because the thorns are in the way. And the moment I tell them to rip these thorns out, they're going to injure themselves, and we're going to put ourselves in a very bad spot, which we don't want to do. We do want a place to store all of those metal blocks, though, or metal scrap. Where do we do that? Probably right here. Or not right there. Probably up back in here. So can you reach that? You can. Let's tell them to not cut any more of this down. Have them focus on this area back here a little bit. Maybe that a little bit. That should mean that they only work on that. Just totally legit and fine by me. That will be grand. We are doing okay on berries. All of these did pop, though, so that is fantastic. We have a future. We have a beaver future, and I love it. I'm ecstatic. I'm stoked. I'm so happy that I didn't lose this on the first attempt. That was touch and go there for a minute, though. That was very touch and go. I am thoroughly impressed with the challenge that this map has given us. Like, this is legitimately a fantastic map. Provides us with a huge problem set to solve. And I do have to say, it's a pretty neat problem set to try to solve. I can't say it's been terrible. It scared me for half of a second there. Like, I was thoroughly concerned that this entire playthrough was about to get completely dropped so fast and I'd have to do a full restart. But we didn't yet anyway. We haven't lost yet. All right. How are we doing beaver pop? We're finally pushing towards the 20 number, which is good. That is where we want to be pushing based off of the size and growth and development of our beaver population. We do want to get somebody in here, though, because water crisis is about to pop up for us. Actually, we're not doing too bad. No, we'll turn it on. That's fine. Yeah, we'll turn that on. Not concerned with turning that on. We've got plenty of foodstuffs. And we only have 2.5 days left in this drought. So the only problem that we could run into is maybe some of the cassava actually end up in a bad spot. But we still have a good 1/10 of a tile left before that starts to pull down. And then these pockets will maintain the rest of the foodstuffs back in here without too much consternation. Now, the question is, what happens if we put this right here? It does expand to that far, so that is good. Go ahead and rip that out, and let's put in a lumberjack flag right here, and we tell them to chop those trees down, which gives us a little bit more real estate to start planting a little bit more food back in here. That is going to be great. I have a spare or a position going unfilled. I'm going to pause you. 228 is more than enough to meet the demand for the next couple of days, and we are going to have copious amounts of food stuff available to us. Or not food stuff, water stuff going to be popping up here in the next 1.5 days. This is fine. This is perfect. This is beautiful. This is Sparta. No, this isn't Sparta. Definitely not Sparta. Not sparkly planks. We want that in there, though. How are we doing total power-wise on the network? We're looking at 800 plus another 120. Okay, so 400 for the Aquifer Drill. Right? Yeah. 400 for the Aquifer Drill. 50 for that. 70 for... So we're at 125 plus another... That's not 125. What is this? Or 120. So... 245, 6. We... we're gonna be in a bad spot putting this in here because that requires 200. But I think that's fine. Just making sure I didn't just put myself in a bad spot. No, we're good there. I did just put myself in a bad spot. So let's unscrew that up. Please and thank you. That would be appreciated. Thank you guys. Thank you for unfornicating my mess here. And let's put that in right there. And that will be fine. Good. That's all reconnected. This should have been enough to get this pumping again, but I'm not concerned about that. And we'll give this a small bump priority-wise just so they can get that knocked out. This is going to backfill. It'll take a little bit. Hopefully not 0.5 days. It's going to be more than 0.5 days before that actually fills in enough to reach over and fill in that other side. That's fine. We do have a need for water, so let's not forget to do that this time. We have 2 flooded buildings. Those are 2 known flooded buildings. We have a bad tide drain that's about to turn on, though. So that is... We have 2 bad tide drains that are about to turn on. Wait a second. Where are they at? Where are these at? Are they in here? Oh, that's dirty. That is so dirty. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. All right. Well, shoot. Yeah, we need to fix that. We've got 9 days to clear this path over here. Yeah, we've got 9 days to clear that path. Okay. So let's work towards that. Working towards that as soon as possible. And just run around that side, run there. And then, yeah, that's going to spill out and over and be fine. There's no more blockages in there. Probably want to get up here and fix this future issue, or is that just all going to spill down here? It's all going to spill down into this. It's going to be a potential issue for us in the future, but we're fine for now. Building likes workers. Yep, 2 inventors' huts. That's fine. I don't care about that. Demolish that one, please. We need that demolished. We do have a drought on the way in 2.5 days. We do want to plus up our water storage a little bit, so we're going to pump that up. Pump up those numbers. And we'll be able to pull from here for the foreseeable future by putting in a few spots right here like this. That means something along those lines. We put another deep water pump right there. And we'll probably put another 2 right here and another 2 right here. Go ahead and grab this deep water pump here and there. We'll run this Bad Johnny around this back end. That should connect all of those positions. We should have the planks required to meet that demand. We're going to pull that down as a requirement. You are not telling me that you're bored. I'm concerned by the fact that you're not telling me that you're bored, but we're going to tell you to go be scientist. Be a scientist for a little bit. Probably plus up the gear or the plank workshop a little bit, but I'd rather have science moving again because that's going to be needed for the future. We'll let the science stock up and give us access to... We'll probably break into the engines, which are steam engines now. We learned that last playthrough. They require water. Okay. They require 3 units of water per hour, or 0.3 units per hour, so a unit of water every 3 hours to keep this thing up and running, which is astronomical in the grand scheme of things. We don't want to be heavily reliant on that at all, in any way, fashion, shape, or form. So we want to get away from those as soon as we can. We can pause that one. We can start pumping this water in. Actually, that's fine. We'll go ahead and pull you guys out. Go ahead and toss in some additional water storage tanks in here. And we have enough science to unlock the medium tanks. We don't have enough planks to place the medium tanks. But that is something that we would like to do. And we have so much irrigated now, which is glorious. We do want to pause you guys, however, so we can keep this irrigated for our farming purposes. This guy is still over here clearing out those logs for us. Once those are all cleared out, we can plant more stuffs over there. And if we put in platform or 2 or 3 or 4 right here, can you reach that side too? You can. Beautiful. Beautiful. No goods selected. What are we missing here? Water. Water, go here, 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 here. And... okay, I have 2 beavers without anything to do with their hands. That means you guys get to be water pumpers again. Good. 14-day drought. We're doing solid on water. We're doing solid on food. Doing solid on berries. Our industry is not exactly thriving, but it's moving in the right direction. So I feel like we're doing pretty good. This bad tide drain times 2 that are about to be an issue for us is about to be an issue for us, but we are working our way over here to clear that problem out, which needs to happen now. And then we also need to demolish that too, please and thank you. That will alleviate any of the excess pressures that we will induce by all of this. I don't think there's really a way for us to stop a Badwater drain, right? Like there's nothing that we could do about that other than just finding a place for it to go. It's so much lumber in there that we won't be able to play with ever. We can block it off, I guess, and just turn it into, I don't know, maybe we just fill that entire thing in and it's just a Badwater reservoir pocket. I don't know. Bad tide drains are about to pop. We have an outlet for it now, so that is fine. We have water, which is grand. We have planks, which are moving. We have almost metal blocks, which is fantastic. We just need planks to keep that going. So we're going to plus that up, knowing full well that we pulled down from science elsewhere. We're not reliant on any of this water over here to do anything for us at this point. And this is pretty much tapped out for now. We could run this path, continue to run this path on this side. back to here so we can reclaim some of this real estate, and we could use this geothermal engine during the droughts and the bad tides when this is no longer pumping anything out for us in the future. But that is something for us to think about in the future. Just not right now, which means this is what we're going to call it. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We survived. We're thriving-ish, and we're moving in a positive direction. I'm very excited where this is going. Like, this map is glorious. This map is trialsome and chaotic, and it's got so many surprises for us that I'm looking forward to dealing with. By that, I mean that sarcastically. I'm very concerned with what we're going to have to deal with in the future. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please hit that like button. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button, I appreciate that as well. It'd be so much appreciated. I'm going to catch you all in the next episode of TimberPunk 2. I'm out. See ya!